Good morning, everyone. How is everybody today? You all good? Okay, I'm going to invite you to stand up and let's know something, shall we? Here we go. I know the truth about you. I see the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. Margaret?
I see you dripping with abundance and ease.
Ooh.
I see you enjoying the life you lead.
Ooh.
Faithful at work and creative at play. I see you in gratitude for every day. And I say,
I know the truth about you. I see the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right.
I know the dreams of your heart want to fly.
Ooh.
It's time to spread those wings and give it a try.
Ooh.
The love you give, you know you're bound to receive. Your good can only grow the more you believe. Come on now.
I know the truth about you. I see the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. You're good. Everything is all right. Come on, Margaret, tell us.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Mhm.
Everybody.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. Your biggest self can't be denied. You got no place to hide because
I know the truth about you. I see the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. Yeah. Good leg kick. Wow, now she's kicking her leg at the end of a song. Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. How are y'all feeling today? Good, good, good. So is there anybody here for the first time? Is this your first time today? Please stand. Anybody else here for the first time today? Oh, one more. Okay, great. So, welcome, first of all. Tell me your names. Katrina. Roberta. Good names. Katrina and Roberta. Sounds like a clothing line. Katrina and Roberta. What do you guys do?
I'm an architect.
You're an architect? Oh, great.
And I'm a practitioner working as a spiritual life coach.
Excellent. Where are you a practitioner?
I hold my license in Santa Rosa.
Oh, with Edward Villon, yes. Oh, well, welcome. Thanks for joining. Stay up, though. Okay. And what is your name? Crystal. These are great names today, guys. Crystal. And what do you do, Crystal?
I'm a bookkeeper.
You're a bookkeeper. I loved how you said that, though. I'm a bookkeeper. It was like really? You didn't, like some people would go, oh, I'm a bookkeeper. I'm weird. I like what I do. Okay. That's good. You know what? No, stay up, Crystal. We're not done with you, Crystal. Okay, so I'm going to ask a question and just listen to see what the answer is, okay? So we come together every Sunday as a spiritual community to do one thing and one thing only. What is that? To know where I am, God is. Okay.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, right. Is that what you heard? What? What did you hear?
Where I am, God is.
Yeah. Chris, so what did you hear on this side? Obviously, you're a friend of Zena's?
Yes.
Okay, good. What did you hear? Anything? Did she say anything interesting?
Nothing came before you guys spoke.
So here,
It was like too quickly, but then I agreed with what was said.
okay, because that's what they said. You're all saying it a little too uniformly. We are not the church of uniform. Clearly, you should have your own vision of this. So I said, we come together every Sunday as a spiritual community to do one thing and one thing only, and we really come to the answer of to know that right where I am,
God is.
but some people say to party or to have fun or whatever. But it is about understanding that, Crystal, right where you stand, the entire universe is moving through you. How's that feel? Look good? I thought you were going to say scary. Good. And that right where you are, God is, because that's who you are. So thank you for joining us today and being here, and I'm so excited that you're going to get to spend this time with us. And we have a gift for you somewhere, a 7-day journaling workbook. So just go to the desk, give them your email so that I will write to you tomorrow, and then you can converse with me about anything I said that you might want to question, which is always appropriate. So thank you for joining us. Okay, we also remind ourselves every week of, Karen, could you come up here for a minute? Come on up here. Karen's like, what? So this is, I don't think this has ever happened where on the very day of our service we have had a transition and a memorial service. So a lot of our congregation is at a memorial service this morning, and because of that, I wanted to honor that. So tell us.
So a longtime member of our center, Susie Nelson, made her transition. So a number of our members and the members in the community are with her this morning, and her family. They're having their celebration of her life from 10 to 12 this morning. And I think it's at a community center that's closer to the airport where a lot of her family flew in from. But she was and always will be a light for this center. She was a practitioner. She led workshops, and she was just amazing.
Great. Thank you, Karen. So I just wanted to say that at the top of the service so that we can honor Susie and just keep her in our hearts and her family and all of her friends. Okay, so we also honor our vision statement. Now today, when you say what our vision statement is, I want you, Eric, to actually think about how it relates to your life. Okay? So here we go. Here's our vision statement. Love only. Forgive what?
Everything.
And?
Remember who you are.
How'd you do this week with that? And the silence overwhelms. Love only. You know, the talk I have to give you today is something that happened this week that's just changed a perspective for me that I want to really bring out to you all. And Eric actually did our meditation this morning in such a way, and his treatment that he did before service, basically, I was like, there is only one mind because it's all coming together. It's all converging. So love only, forgive everything. You know, that actually means something. It's not just about forgiving individual things. Forgive everything is actually about coming from a slate that is absolutely clear, absolutely pure. There's nothing to forgive. There's nothing left to forgive. And then, of course, remember who you are. And I know you're all remembering who you are, yes? And the rest of you? Because you're like, I don't know, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So everybody take a deep breath. Robbie? Ladies, if you'd join me. So on Friday night, here in this sanctuary, we clear away, we do it twice a month, we clear away all the chairs, and we put up mats and blankets and pillows. And we have a gorgeous video of nature and all the many facets of living. And then Swan creates some beautiful sounds and vibrations. Scott Gibb plays his many instruments. We have our bowls here. It's called Soul Immersion. And those that showed up, it was so beautiful. was so beautiful. And I just invite you all to really take advantage of that. We sing this song, I sing this song every soul immersion. And it's about giving yourself the opportunity to surrender, to just let go. So I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath and close your eyes. And just as we move through this moment, ask yourself, what am I here to know today? And just let that be answered. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender, just let it go. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. Breathe with me now. Gently let it go. Open up your heart to what it needs to know. Everything you know. The wisdom of the wind. The echo of a sky, the truth within your soul, asking you to fly. Let your spirit fly. I surrender. What am I here to know today? I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. Take another deep, deep breath. Slowly let it out. What am I here to know today? Well, surrender and you'll get to know. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Carol. Okay, so one of the things I don't know when we started this. I guess it was years ago. But I love when I get to actually talk to our spiritual leaders here at this center, our ministers, our practitioners. And we have a rotation that usually goes throughout the year. But every now and then, a practitioner jumps up in the cycle and says, or comes to me and says, I'm ready. And I trust people when they say to me, I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to spar with you on stage. And so here is today's sparring candidate. This is her first time on this stage with me, but she's had an amazing career in the public world where she argues for a lot of people's good and health and vitality. So please welcome. I was going to say Reverend.
Oh,
come on
my.
up, Amy. Amy Shapiro.
All right.
How you feeling?
Bring it on.
No. So
Yeah,
what is
good.
our theme this month?
Our theme is clarity.
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 So tell us something about What has become more clear to you?
Well.
And you can tell them.
I will.
I'll
I
listen.
will. That's all right. I'm also, clarity has come forward. I love this theme. I'm also in mental muscle.
Yes.
Yes. So the combination of the week of belief and this week of being present has brought many things into much greater clarity, some of which I would sometimes prefer not to be seeing quite so clearly, but thank you. But that's been really helpful because I've had a chance to really see, like the veil, like those clouds, which, bless the rain this week, but where the clouds have been in front of me, where I don't see myself clearly, where I hide, where I, keep myself from being fully present and fully who I am. Can get really good about being there but not there. And
Anybody?
right? Okay? There but not there, right? Sleight of hand, yes? So in all of that, so I've had a real opportunity to have that brought forward with greater clarity. And then to recognize that I have a choice about it. And that those old limiting beliefs, AEPs, that really come in to cloud my clarity, I have a choice about what it is that I want to do.
And
how
you know
do
what I
wanna
love
be.
best about you? You are so transparent. In a good way.
Okay.
No, I mean, you are.
I'm glad to hear it.
You are transparent. You
Yeah.
are like, no, here's what I'm feeling. Here's what's going on. Here's what's happening. And in Mental Muscle, when you blog, your blogs are very transparent. It's like, this happened. This is what I thought. Oh my God, am I still freaking believing this crap?
Yeah.
And I'm not
Right.
doing it anymore.
Could I get like 24 hours without having to deal with this? But I'm blogging. And this is another way where, I've done Mental Muscle before. I didn't blog. So this is about really being fully present and
I think the
bringing
last
myself.
time you did Mental Muscle, you
Yeah,
kept that
was.
cloud there. You
I did.
still did the work.
Right.
But now
I
you're
do
like,
work.
get out of my way.
Get out of my way. I'm done. Get out, get out, get
Yeah.
out. And, when we get a chance to do the affirmation, I've been working with that affirmation through
Good.
this whole time.
Well,
I
you
love
also
it.
bring up a good point that it's not that, I got to tell you guys, it's not that you don't know your crap. You do. It's that you don't want to know it.
Yeah.
And that we can find, right? And we can find how many different ways to distract us from the very thing we need to be dealing with, or that we could benefit from
Let
looking
me
at.
count the ways that I can distract myself.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But I think
Right.
you're doing great,
So,
really great.
It's really been, that clarity, that being able to see and also to see myself.
Yeah.
That's been just transformational.
And you know what I've loved? I've loved watching you put it out there that you are absolutely ready for the love of your life.
For any of you that don't know, can I troll
Talk to the
for
camera.
a
There's a lot of
date?
people out there,
Can I
yeah.
troll now? So here I am,
Yeah.
right? And that's what has brought a lot of this
But that's
forward.
what it takes.
That's what it takes.
Because you've been circling
know.
the drain
Woo!
to get all that out, and now you're not just doing the, oh, I'd like to have a soulmate. Yeah,
No.
that would be nice. It's like, no,
No.
I am equal to
Right.
it.
I'm equal
right
to
here,
it,
right now.
and then I get another chance tonight. Like I blogged about my dance experience.
I was like, where are we going with
Where
this?
are we going?
I get a chance tonight
I get
to
a
prove
chance
this.
tonight to show up again because I blogged about, I'm taking dancing lessons on Sunday nights, and I had one of my old limiting beliefs show up in full Technicolor last week, and I go back tonight, and how do I want to bring myself back? I could show up but hide, or I can
Did you
bring
fall
myself
or something?
fully. No. Do you want? I'll tell you.
Tell us,
All
yeah.
right. So here I am. I go over with a friend. This is all the way out in Pasadena for those of you. That's like, to hell and gone. So
We love you in Pasadena.
We do.
We have members in
but
Pasadena.
it's far from where we live. So we go out together, my friend and I, we do these lessons together. And as we're leaving, they circulate us. You don't have to have a partner. And it's a way where you can meet people, meet men, for example. Well, there was a line literally out the door of 3 men that were interested in my friend. So I got a chance to revisit some of my old limiting beliefs in this area. And there it was right there. It was like
they all want my friend, not
they
me.
all want my friend and not me. And I play the comparing game,
Yeah.
right? Especially because she's all tall and blonde. That's me, right? Tall, blonde, right? Yeah. There we go. So here I am out there, and I'm like, I said a few choice words in the car, and she and I drive together. In the
pleasant.
car. No, it was. And I love her dearly. I mean, she's a good friend, and I was able to talk about it a little bit, and then I got to work with it this week.
Good.
And as I said, the affirmation, as I'm give preview of coming attractions here, that this is what I'm working with around being able. So I'm going back tonight after I go do my stint at the booth at the craft fair.
Great. Yes.
Yes. Then I'll go out, dance. And how do I want to bring myself?
And you've told her you're not taking her this week, right?
Yeah. Well, right. Well, we were supposed to meet up with one of the guys because we all connected, but he's interested in her. And you know what? I'm not doing that afterwards. My time's too valuable.
He may have a friend.
Yeah, they're all in the class. So, it's like...
I don't think all of his friends are in the
class.
No,
they're not. But we will. I mean, we
will.
Good for you.
But you know what? Thank you for sharing that.
How do I want to show up?
I mean, how many of you have ever had... I'll ask this. How many of you have ever in your life played the comparison game? We all have. I mean, I compare myself to, like, Ryan Gosling all the time.
And you are
I buy the shirts he wears where you can barely fit into them.
He's far cuter than Ryan Gosling, just so everyone knows.
Sweet.
Right?
I could be his
Isn't
father.
that true?
I could be his No, I could be his father. Let's stick with father.
Right.
Well, you know what? I want to tell you something about blondes and brunettes and dark hair and redheads.
Yes.
Red hair is vibrant.
Yes.
And sexy.
Right.
And amazing. Right, Margaret?
Right, Margaret? Yeah.
As is blonde, brunette, dark. It's
Right.
all gray.
Right, but it's all gray.
Silver. Thank you, Dusty.
Hot tamales, honey. Yep, fabulous.
Well, you know what? You should do a little TikTok tonight at your dance class and put it on TikTok so we can all see you dance.
I have no idea how to do a
TikTok. Do a
TikTok.
Facebook. How about a Facebook?
I will do something.
Okay,
yes.
good.
And I'm putting it out there. Next year, if you have a telethon,
you'll dance.
There will be a belly dancer.
Well, you did. When we did Mental Muscle the first time here, she, for her final project, got up on the stage and did a belly dance, complete with a full costume. I mean, your belly was in full display.
Oh yeah, there'll be full display.
Okay, good. Well, maybe not full display.
No, not quite, not there yet. But yeah, full display.
Well, we'll have more people at the telethon, I'm sure.
Well,
okay, so shall we do the affirmation?
I love this affirmation.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. So
first, do it for them. Tell them.
All right. Yeah, we're going to do it this way. I'm going to do it first, and then we're going to do it twice together. But because this is truly one of my most favorite affirmations, and I've been at the center for a while, we're going to raise the bar, because I know that Dr. Kirby raised the bar last week. We're raising the bar this week, so I'm going to invite everybody to stand up, please, from the get-go. And when I do it, I have a lot of motion, and I have some hand stuff that goes along with it. Imagine that. Yes. So I'll do it first, and then we'll do it twice together. So my mind is clear, my heart is full, and I am fabulous. All right, together. My mind is clear, my heart is full, and I am fabulous.
One more time.
One more time.
I want that fabulous to raise this roof.
Raise it. Raise it.
Here we go.
My mind is clear. My heart is full. And I am fabulous. Woo!
Okay.
All right then.
Beautiful. There, your first time. It was painless, right?
Yep. Painless. Yeah.
Good.
Love it.
Okay. Amy Shapiro. That's nice. I'm glad to add more people to the roster. There are practitioners who also say to me, never. I will never come up there with you. And I respect that too. Right, Stan? Yeah. We just drag him up to play songs now. He just performs now. So, okay. So there's this musical that I have been working with the writer on for the last 4 years, 5 years maybe? 7 years. It's a musical about Rosemary Kennedy, and it's a brilliant piece that when it finally gets to Broadway should shower her with all the accolades she so rightly deserves. This is a new song from this show. We've gone through a rewrite during the pandemic and changed the focus of the play a bit in terms of who's speaking. And so, as Margaret Owens always does, she just disappears for a while and comes back with something that makes me cry and blows my mind. And so this is now at the end of the play, and it's a song called What's Mine to Do? Margaret Owens.
I feel an urging. I hear a call. It's bigger than I am, though it started small. There must be a reason for all we've been through. So grace me and guide me toward what's mine to do. I'm creating something that has never been. I'll draw inspiration from forces unseen. I will pray with my feet moving as I construe this vision that's calling me toward what's mine to do. There's something evolving and my fears dissolving. I promise you I will not tire, for as I grow older, I'm stronger and bolder, and where hearts are open, the world is on fire. I see potential I've never dreamed of, and just watch as I harness the power of love, as I charge and I challenge and change our worldview with this vision that's calling me toward what's mine to do.
Margaret Owens. Anybody else get goosebumps? And in my head, of course, every time she sings something from our show, every time she sings something from her show, all I'm doing is staging it in my head. I'm like looking at the set, and I'm seeing all these visions of what John F. Kennedy did, moving up to the presidency, what Eunice did with her, with all the impact of what has happened, and not just the Kennedys, everyone, the impact we have on people, with when we realize what is ours to do and actually do it. So I want to start this morning with a quote that has impacted me these last couple of weeks. And here it is. Thank you, Thor. From Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. I'm just going to let you sit with that for a minute. I have lived for 68 years now. And if I were completely honest with myself, I would say I spent at least 50% of my life paying attention to the things which mattered least. At least. I wouldn't count the last 20 years of ministry, because somehow when you come into religious science and you hear someone like Dr. David Walker speak, or Dr. Bitzer, or Ernest Holmes, or Eric Butterworth, to be honest, it's kind of hard to go back and pretend you don't know what you now know. And so I have, as I've aged in these last 20, 30 years, I have begun focusing more on the things that matter most. But I still get caught up at times in the things that matter least. People's opinions, what other people think I should be doing with my life, other people's concepts of what this whole thing should be about. And it's not that they matter least, it's that that should matter least to me. What should matter to me is what matters most to me. And perhaps that's what matters most to them, but they do not have to be the same thing. We live in a world of multiple opinions and multiple thoughts. So this quote has really moved me these last few weeks. And so I have a question for you, Thor. What matters most in your life? In your personal life, what matters most? I love that. Marilyn and Scott are telling each other that it's each other, right? I love that. Yes. And I can honestly say what matters most to me in my life is not really Kevin, but what Kevin and I create as one. And he is certainly the most important person in my life, right up there with my son and my daughter. But if I take it away from people, what matters most to me in living this life? What matters most? Honesty? That would be a good one. Honesty. Is it easy to be honest in today's society? No. I've had people ask me to take the Biden sign off my car because it insults them. I'm like, that doesn't work for me, because we need to all be willing to sit and share what we believe and respect one another with that. So what matters most in this world to you? Is it love? Is it your career? And it's not like, I know some of you are going to be, because you all are like this, some of you are going to be, actually there's a lot of things that matter most to me. The word most actually means there's something that matters most. And if you really get quiet and you just listen, what is it that matters most? You know what? I think if I were to say, okay, it just came to me, what matters most? What matters most to me is that I am always creating. I must always be creating something. Always. At all times. I have to be creating. Kevin came home the other day and he was like, what happened on the piano? I was like, oh, I was writing a song. He went, how? Because I have, you probably have this too. I have trunks. That's a lie. I have a case. I have a case of music. All these unfinished pieces of music, right? Unfinished. The funny part is, I had a musical, my first musical that I wrote was called The Dreamer and the Runner. And we did it in San Francisco, and it was a big hit. We brought it back to New York, and I'm trying to figure out, that title, everybody's telling me the title doesn't work, it's confusing. And I walked into my piano room in New York City one afternoon, and on my piano was kind of what Kevin walked into the other night. Pieces of paper all over the place. Because I don't write music. I write words with chords, and then I just play. And so there's all these, and it doesn't matter what piece of paper. It could be something that the grocery store left me, and I write a song on it. You know that, Margaret. Or I'm somewhere, and I have to write it down. So I walked in, and I saw all these pieces of music, and I was like, God, all of these unfinished songs. Unfinished song. I sat down at the piano, the whole song came out. The whole show turned into an unfinished song. So Kevin came home the other day, and I had written a new song. Actually, a piece of a new song, still unfinished. But I also pulled out all my unfinished songs. And I was like, how important is it, James, for you to actually get these songs finished? And you know what my answer was? Not at all. I was like, I don't need to finish this. This is just creativity. The reason why I want to finish it is because I think it needs to be a finished product. But it's not. It is a living, creative entity. And some of them I pull up and I'm like, I start to play it. I go, I have no idea why I wrote this song. And a lot of them are really depressing. Songwriters tend to write a lot of depressing crap. And I have written so many songs. I wrote one song and I played it. I sat there playing it and I was like, oh my God, I used to do this in the cabarets of New York. What were people thinking about me? It was a song called While Pain Is Still My Friend. Yeah, it's a cool country tune. By the end of it, everybody's like, okay, we're done. Yeah, and I had a lot of those songs, Leave me, leave me, leave me. That was one of my songs. Leave me, leave me. And I know who I wrote it for. And he left me. It's true, very true. So, what matters most to you in your life? I just really want you to think about that today, because frankly, that is the only thing you should be putting your focus on. If whatever's going on over here is distracting you from it or contradicting what you know is yours to do, this cannot get your attention. That person cannot get your attention. Listen, feel it, decide, and then focus on what matters most. Sometimes that contrary voice actually spurs you and actually stimulates you and helps you see something even more in what matters most to you. So I'm not saying we ignore those things. No, we listen to them, we process them, we allow them, and then we stick with what matters most. Does this build my message? Does this build my vision? Does this create more creativity in me? Or is it distracting me? Margaret's song, What's Mine to Do, really works well when you ask that question from a place of knowing. Not a place of inquisition. Not a, what is mine to do, but a place of, what's mine to do? And I'm asking that in me that knows the answer. Because the answer is not going to come from my critical mind trying to make sense out of it, because I'm going to try to make sense out of it in a relative world of facts. And that is not going to help me at all. But if I'm saying what's mine to do, as I asked you to do at the beginning of service today, if I'm asking what's mine to do from that bigger place in me that knows, I have some really interesting answers that comes up. So here's the next question for you. Why does it matter? What matters most in your life? You pick it, okay, it's creativity. Why does it matter? And I used that slide today because this is one of the quantum slides that show up when I put in the word quantum in pixels. This is one of them. I've never used it before. Why do things matter to you? Well, a lot of reasons. Likes, dislikes, beliefs, AEPs, already established premises of life, race consciousness, fads, trends. There are so many different reasons why what matters most to you is what matters most to you. You can name them. If we did a workshop on this, I'd ask you to. I'd ask you to write it down. Pick what matters most to you. Now tell me why it matters most to you. But even after you tell me why it matters most to you, I'm going to ask you to back that up. What beliefs cause you to want this to matter most, or to think this matters most? Because behind all of these likes and dislikes, beliefs, fads, race consciousness, beyond all of that is a quantum field of pure intelligence, pure creativity, where as Elizabeth Gilbert says, where every idea comes from, every desire, every creative essence of your being comes from this field of pure creativity. And what we do is we then take that and start putting our beliefs with it and start creating ideas that are morphed into a personality that we've created. But I'm telling you, there is a possibility, there is an absolute possibility for you to move beyond your personal beliefs, likes and dislikes, fads, race consciousness. We do it every time we meditate. Every time we actually drop in. We drop into something that is not impressed by our personality. It literally impresses upon us from this amazing space of truth. So, yesterday, we had our telethon. And it was, how many of you watched the telethon or were here? If you haven't, the replay starts today. It's 3 hours. You don't have to sit there for 3 hours. But there are spectacular moments in this telethon. It was 3 hours that flew by. Some amazing people, some legends were on our stage yesterday, talking about their life, how they broke the ceiling, the glass ceiling. Kelly Lang was here and talked about how she broke the glass ceiling for women in broadcasting. She was the #1 female broadcaster in the United States and got paid the highest salary, finally making women make close to what men make. That's what I wanted to talk about yesterday with her. And she was on this stage talking about that. There were incredible songs. But Kevin and I decided to do a scene from an unfinished song, that musical I told you about, that we opened in New York in 1992. And we hadn't done the scene in 30 years. And when we did it, we didn't look the way we look now. We were 30 years younger. But I did show the picture of us 30 years younger, so that people had it in their mind what we were supposed to look like. And so we did the scene. And we hadn't really rehearsed it that much, and Kevin didn't want to rehearse it that much. He was like, what I really want to do is just do it and see what happens. Never a good idea for actors to just do it and see what happens. But we did, and we read the scene, and it went fine. But halfway through the scene, I was not operating in the present. Talking about being present week. I wasn't in the present. My body had somehow taken over this position of a 68-year-old man who's been married for 34 years, looking at his husband of 61. Thank you. 61. She's the same age as him, that's why she can tell me. 61. And knowing that this scene we were doing was when I was like 35 and he was 20-something. And there was sort of me outside of it, watching it, feeling all emotional about what we were saying to one another. And I got through the scene, and then I picked up my guitar to sing, and literally, and in my head, I'm like, just sing this damn song. Just sing it. Because I'm not Patti LuPone. I can't cry and sing simultaneously. If I cry, my throat shuts down. Patti somehow tears, and she's just barreling through the song. Doesn't matter. Don't cry for me, Argentina, because she doesn't cry. So I'm playing the song, and I'm doing really great. I'm halfway through the song, and Kevin takes his hand and rubs my hair, and I can't even breathe. And my throat, I don't know if you all caught that, but my throat just closed, and I couldn't sing a few notes. The reason I bring this up today is because it's exactly what I'm talking about. Our theme this month is clarity. And what I'm getting clear on is how much of my past, how much of my life comes into a present moment and dictates how I'm feeling, what I'm seeing. Now, I'm good with what happened yesterday. I love that. I love the emotion that came up, and I had such great ideas about our marriage and where this play has taken us. But then I thought, beyond all of that is a truth that transcends all of that. And when I went there yesterday, everything just shifted. And I love the 30-year-old who wrote the song. I love us who we were as a couple then. I love who we are now. And all of it comes together as one thing when I'm aware of it. And nothing takes me over. I don't get lost in it. I'm actually present in it. It doesn't grab me. It fuels me. So the title of my talk today is this: how do I know? Now, there's two ways of looking at this. The first one is, how do I know? How many of you have ever said that? How do I know? And what you're really saying is, I don't know, right? So it's how do I know? But the other part is, how do I know? And that's the question I have for us today. Right in the middle of this whole clarity month, right in the whole idea of what's mine to do. How do I know? And that goes back to, you know what you know because of everything you've learned up to this point. Or you could know what you know, regardless of everything you've learned up to this point, by just tapping in to your true, authentic, powerful, dynamic, amazing quantum self. Choice. And the third part of this is, I can know what I know because I tap into that quantum, brilliant, amazing self and still know all of that and have a better perspective on it. That's what this teaching can do for us. Give us a perspective on our lives that transcends anything that this might bring into my present moment. So, Werner Heisenberg said this: not only is the universe stranger than we think, it is stranger than we can think. Just this morning, Eric Butterworth. Eric Bork said this morning in treatment, as he was treating everybody before service, he said, I will paraphrase, somewhere in there, what I know is more than my human mind can ever know. And I, of course, hear anything that seems negative twists in my head. I go, what? And I was like, no, he's absolutely correct. And it's exactly what I'm talking about today. There is that in me that knows beyond my human mind, but the human mind is only an illusion. You don't have a human mind. You do not have a human mind. You have a human brain. That's your human brain. You do not have a human mind. Your mind is universal. Your mind is the mind of God. Your mind is the quantum field of pure intelligence. That's your mind. Can you turn it into a human brain operating only from the relative? Absolutely. Can you also stop operating in a world of the relative and only operate from the absolute? Absolutely. Is it easy? Your limiting belief can decide that. So, not only is the universe stranger than you think, it's stranger than we can think so far. Do you get that? So far, we have not been able to really comprehend this whole thing called quantum. But we can. I believe we can, and we are in the process of doing it. This Thursday night in ministerial class, I talked myself into an observation that literally, Eric, turned my whole concept of practitioner work upside down. And I'm talking through it, and I'm very aware and I'm awake, and our whole theme in ministerial class, like in advanced consciousness class, is question everything. Nothing is absolute other than the absolute. Your mind, my mind, the mind is always growing, always expanding. So I'm teaching, I wasn't teaching, I was teaching this thing, and I was talking about the difference between first cause and secondary cause. First causation, secondary causation. First causation is the infinite universe always creating perfectly. Secondary causation is when you use relative facts to react to something and you create it all over again. But it's secondary because it's your reaction to it. It's not it, the thing itself. So first cause, I'm talking about first cause, and I'm talking about, Emerson calls it the oversoul, Troward calls it, thank you, the divine ideal. I knew the answer, I just wanted to see if someone else did. And ultimately we call it God. The divine ideal, the oversoul, first cause. It's all one thing, God, right? So I was thinking, wait, if it's God, then, go ahead, Thor. God is thinking. God is thinking. Not Eric Bork is thinking. God is thinking. Yes, individuated as Eric Bork. But God is thinking. And I thought to myself, do I want to continue thinking from first cause or from secondary causation? And I hate to bring this to everyone's attention, but most of us are thinking from secondary causation at all times. We are constantly moving in the secondary causation world. And I just got it. And I said to my 18 ministerial students, I was like, guys, do you think it's possible for you to think from first cause as first cause? And it was really interesting. I don't know if you were there yet, Tiffany, when we went through this, but everybody's face was just like, no, they're all practitioners. Everybody's face was just like, I said, because guess what? That's actually what Ernest Holmes was teaching. A practitioner must drop into first cause and speak and know from first cause only. The minute you bring in the relative facts, the minute you bring in, oh, it's my friend Eric, I know what's going on in his life. No, you don't. No, you know the relative facts. But what's the absolute? There is Eric, a perfect expression of God at all times, no matter what. Now, what's going on? And I stay there. And oh my God, all of a sudden it was like, I need to live my life from first cause. I need to stop living my life reacting. And it went back to that whole concept of what matters most to me. And if what matters most to me is living in first cause, I don't have the opportunity, I don't have the pleasure to go live in this world of gossip and backbiting and all that kind of stuff that happens in the world. But there's also a lot of beautiful, brilliant, gorgeous, loving, kind things happening in the world. That's what matters most. This stuff, take a deep breath and allow it to just move wherever it needs to go. So, I know you're like, you never talk this much about this sort of stuff. But this week was really a very different week for me. So, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe has another quote. The greatest thing in the world is not so much as where we stand, as in what direction are we moving. Taking a stand, oh, that's all great. But if you take a stand, you've stopped. How about holding lightly to the things you're taking stands on and allow yourself to maybe expand a bit and keep moving? Don't keep trying to go back to what it was, because it's not and never will be again what it was. It's moving. So the real question for all of us today is, in what direction are you moving? I'd like to tell you where we're moving. Right now, a lot of our members are at a booth in the Thousand Oaks Fair, and they've done a beautiful, I'll show it to you later, a beautiful booth with all the books that we teach. And they've done a contest where you give us your email, and at the end of the day, we'll pick one, and you get to win this whole stack of really amazing Joe Dispenza and Elizabeth Gilbert, all these books. They've done a brilliant job. We have people at this center, my ministers, my staff ministers, Eric, Tiffany, Liza, Karen, Suzanne, all of the staff ministers here are single-mindedly moving this teaching in another direction. Not another, in a direction. Right? We are single-mindedly, all of us very much together, taking this teaching out into the world. And so I had something happen this week, and I'll close with this. I want to be very careful how I tell this story, because I believe every religion is important, and I believe every religion has something in common, and there is love at the center of all of these religions. But I will say this, not every religion helps people to know who they are. Not every religion honors the truth in people and sees the perfection in people. And this week, that hit me over the head broadly. I had to reach out to a minister about something. He was very gracious, very loving, and we handled this issue very quickly. But I thought, I should see what he does, because it looks like they're doing a great job. And I went on, and I watched a talk. I watched a half of a talk. It's all I could get through. And it was all about hell, damnation, sinners. You will not survive unless you live through Jesus Christ, who I absolutely adore, Jesus Christ, by the way, Jesus of Nazareth, the Christ consciousness. And it was aimed at these, and I saw the audience, and there were a lot of young people there, and I'm aimed at these people. You are sinners. You cannot get to heaven, and if you do not accept Jesus Christ as your Savior, you will go to hell. My body revolted. I was like, I've spent my whole ministry honoring all of these religions and talking about how we're similar. Well, you know what? Today I'm going to talk about how we're different, because it's important. I'm getting very emotional here. Because if I can save one child from growing up thinking they're a sinner because of who they love, we need to teach this. So what matters most to me? It's not any organization, any book, any individual church. It's about the message that we are the infinite love of the universe and that you get to choose how to live your life. That's why Reverend Connie Milner is out in that booth right now giving kids presents, affirmation cards that tell them they are loved. I want families in here. I want children downstairs in the daycare, in the children's program, being taught how amazing they are, not told. It just makes me cry that they're going to go to hell unless they do exactly what they're being told to do. That is not who we are. And if you want to be a part of what we're bringing to the world, then you are in the right place. And you are putting your support and your energy behind this message. Because what is the most important thing to me in the world? It's to let people know that they are God. And they are not damaged goods. And they are not having to wait till they die to be happy. Happiness is here, now, for us to live as God. And that's the message. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's take a deep breath. So I invite you to take out your contribution, your support of this center. And let's know this, shall we? Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is the evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. Here we go, gratitude. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This beautiful day.
This beautiful day. Thank you for my peace, Spirit. Thank you for my peace.
Thank you for my peace, Spirit. Thank you for my peace. What it is?
My abundant peace.
Her abundant peace.
Well,
Thank you for my power, Spirit. Thank you for my power.
Thank you for my power, Spirit. Thank you for my power.
My amazing power.
My amazing
power.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
'Cause I'm so grateful. So grateful.
So grateful.
So I just want you to turn to somebody next to you and just say thank you. Thank you for them being here today. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being part of this beautiful community. Carol, thank you for coming here on Sundays and gracing us with your amazing talent.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Margaret, thank you for being so audacious in life and writing what is yours to write.
Thank you, James, for preaching the truth.
Oh, thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Everybody now.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This beautiful day.
This beautiful day.
I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Everybody?
Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody?
Thank you.
One last time. Thank you.
Good morning. It's Sunday, October 16th, and here are your Global Truth Center announcements. Happy birthday this week to Joe Giamalva, Debbie Jarvis, Marilyn Way, Cynthia Bankston, and Dory Stillings. Coming up in the calendar, after our celebration today, stop by our booth at the Thousand Oaks Street Fair. Tonight, join Dr. James for a lively discussion on the topic of aging in Let's Talk. This community event takes place on Zoom at 6 p.m., and you can find the link on our website's calendar. Our fall classes continue this week. You can always sign up for one class at a time, which is perfect for a midweek boost of inspiration. On Monday night, you can join Reverend Dale's class, and on Wednesday, you can join Dr. Tiffany's class. All the links are on our website. This Tuesday night at 7 p.m., join Dr. Liza Marquez and Thor Chalgren for Practical Spirituality. We're doing a deep dive into Deepak Chopra's The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. If you haven't ever read this classic, or it's been a while, this one-night class is perfect for you. You'll leave knowing the key principles of the book and be energized on how to implement them in your life. You can sign up now for this class on our website on the classes page. On Thursday, October 27th, join Dr. James from 9 to 10 a.m. as he appears as a guest on the New Alliance Thought Network. This interview will be on Zoom, and we'll have the link on our website. Finally, we have the perfect way to give back to our spiritual center. Volunteers are needed to serve as Sunday greeters, on the hospitality team, ambassador captains, and more. Please contact Dr. Kirby Ingram or Dr. Karen Oxrider to find out how you can be part of the team. You can always find out what's going on by visiting our calendar on the website. To find it easily, just use your cell phone on the QR codes that you see throughout the sanctuary. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Thank you, Thor. Can I also just get a round of applause and support for Thor Chalgren? Honestly, he very often single-handedly drives this center forward, and it's just amazing. And how exciting that he's in ministerial class. So in 2 years, he will be the Reverend Thor Chalgren. So I will be so excited to have him as part of this ministerial team. So the weekend was great. Thank you to everybody for being a part of the GTC Cabaret Telethon. We raised a little bit over $7,000 yesterday. But, as Tiffany announced yesterday, we are aiming towards $12,000. So it's being replayed today. We will send it back out there into the Facebook world, into the world. Take a look at it. If you haven't watched yet, watch and donate to the telethon. These guys did an amazing job. It was, and I'm going to say thank you to Swan Draper, who did. Swan was being thrown things. Here, do this. This is a karaoke track. This is a video. Thor, we need a video. I mean, it was just like the Jerry Lewis Telethon, which I did 3 years in a row, which was just craziness on drugs. I remember the first one I did, 1974, I think. I was doing a Broadway show at the time, and I went in to sing. I was a guest. I was going to go sing, and I went into the studio. I'm thinking, I'll get there a little early and, rehearse. And I walked in, and they went, "Who are you?" I'm like, James. Actually, it was Jim Mellon. And they went, "Great, you're over there." And I'm standing there, and I'm literally standing there, and they're like, "You're on in 5." I'm like, "What? Do they know my song?" And they're like, 5, 4. I was like, and I was singing Home from The Wiz. I was like, "When I think of home, I think of a place." And I'm like, what key are we in? It was just, anyway, that's what the telethons were like. And then I was done, and I did a really good job, and I'm belting the shit out of, I'm belting a lot. And I'm finishing this song, like, and I'm screaming, and I finished, and I'm expecting like this big applause, but there was really no audience. And I finished the song, and nobody even went, "Great job." They went, okay, you need to get off that mark now. I was like, anyway, so it wasn't really that bad here yesterday, was it, Swan? It was really great, but Swan was the one that got everything thrown at her. It was like, do this, do that. And she's running around to here, she's setting up a guitar, and it was just awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a very full weekend here. Between Soul Immersion Friday night, the telethon all day, our service this morning, we have the booth going on. I hope you all go over to the street fair and see our booth. And then tonight we have Let's Talk. It's been an amazing Global Truth Center weekend, and thank you all for being such an integral part of it. I think that's... Oh, there's our booth. Okay, there you go. So that's what it looks like today. That looks great. Enter to win a success library. That's Thor. Was that your idea, Thor? Yes, it was. Yeah. I can't wait to go over. And there's also a bunch of flyers postcards we're giving out, and we did pamphlets for families to know that they can bring their children here and be taught how amazing they are. I'm really on a mission now about this. And see, so that's the whole thing. That's not my ministry, and they have a whole, bless them to be who they choose to be on this planet. But it was like a real spur in my side. It was like, stop trying to make everybody happy and seem like they're all the same. They're not all the same. Be who you are and get out there and teach what you need to teach. Let's save as many children as we can to be happy. So I would have said it. I'm not saying it again. Okay, so everybody take a deep breath. I know without a shadow of a doubt that life is good, that every person on this planet is good in it. I know that there is good, there is God at the center of every person. And I honor that, I respect that, I support that. I find it in myself. First cause, the divine ideal, the oversoul, God, whatever words are used, one reality remains. There is only love, love only. And so I know that this day has provided us with inspiration, spiritual food to chew on, to let it embody us into becoming what we already are. And that is God. And with that gratitude in my heart, and with so much creativity bubbling up inside of me to do more, to be more, to accept more, to receive more, I just trust and know that the more is always right there for me to see, for me to be. And I know that for myself and for every single person here today, online watching, or whoever watches in the future. Because in the quantum, there is no time. There is just now. So I just get out of the way and I just let it be so. As we all say together, and so it is. I invite you to stand. As time has unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. With every step I take, every last breath I make, may I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light every darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Just let it wash over you. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me. Make me a symphony. Play every note you can find. Let me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance and let my anthem be. Everybody join us in, here we go. Love, cover me, light every darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. One word, everyone. You ready? Love, 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 love. Just sing it out. See if you can just free yourself up. Love. Come on, Reverend Eric, sing it out, baby. Cover me, love, 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 love.
Sound beautiful, Stan.
Come on, love. Come on, Tiffany, let me hear you. Love, love, love.
Cover me.
Here we go, everybody. Come on, Joe. Love. Cover me, love, cover me, love, 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 love. Here we go. Love, love. Follow me, listen to the silence. Love. last one. Here we go. Big, loud. I want to knock me off my feet. Have a great Sunday, everybody. See you at the fair.